Hi, Claire here from Inky Inspiration. Today it's time for a new release over at Sweet November Stamps. So I've got to play with the Hildy stamp set and the Boo to You shaker mix. These actually glow in the dark and they've got the most adorable little ghosts in them. And this is what I'll be making today. So this is a YouTube hop. The details are in the description below and you do have the chance to win some fabulous prizes. Make sure you visit everybody and like and subscribe. So my card today is a tunnel card and I'll show you how I created that. So to create the card base, I need 2 pieces of card that measure 7.5 by 6.5, and we're going to score them along the longer side at 1, 1.5, 6, 6.5, and we're going to do that on both pieces. So into one of these pieces, I'm going to use a rectangle die and I'm going to cut myself a window. If you haven't got a die machine, use your craft knife and your ruler. It doesn't matter, it is literally just a rectangle, so we're creating that window into the shadow box. Just going to use a little bit of tape to hold this in place. And then I'll get that through the machine. So that's been through the die cutting machine. I've also used a black scalloped frame, which is just going to go around the edge here. Now, I wasn't going to do this initially, but because of the width of the card, I've had to use my Gemini machine and my plates are, let's say, interesting. I desperately need some new ones. So my card looks quite tatty now. So let's put the scallop frame on and it'll just hide it a little bit. So I'll get that glued on. So I'm just going to fold what will be the back panel. So we'll do the valley, a mountain, a valley, a mountain. These will eventually glue together like so. But in the meantime, I want to create the scene for the back panel. So I'm going to create the scene for the back. To do that, I'm going to use my C pens. So I've got C9, C7, 5, 3, 1 and 00. I want it to be really monochrome because I want the actual Sweet November Stamps images to be really vibrant and stand out. So if we do this monochrome, the other images are going to sit on acetate here, so they're going to be further forward than the background, so it just needs to stand out a little bit. I think the best way to do this will be to just stick to a really plain background. So I'm going to glue this into the back. So I'm just bobbing 2 panels of patterned paper which measure 3/4 inch by 6.25 onto the front, just to break that up a little bit. So I've stamped my images and I've fussy cut them both out. Now this one I've got it as close to the line as I can and I've put it onto a piece of acetate. I've just gone around the edges with a black marker just so that you can't see where my cutting hasn't been quite that fabulous. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this onto here. But before I do that, I want an idea of where this light's going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Y11 marker and I'm just going to blend some light in between these trees here. Make sure you clean it off before you put your marker away. And then I'm going to take some Y00 and just take that around the edges. and the exact same with some Y000. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue down the back of here. And then make sure that I line it up so that lantern's in the yellow, as close to the edge as I can get it, because I want to see it all. Then I'm going to put glue on this one and this one. And then my witch sat on top of the pumpkins will go on the front here. So a bit of glue on the edge. So I've heat embossed the sentiment using Wow embossing powder in white, and I've just fussy cut that out and stuck it to a bit of orange card and then a bit of liquid glue at the top. And then I've got the Boo to You sequin mix. Now these actually glow in the dark and there's some really adorable little ghosts in it. So I'm going to bob a couple of these around the edge of this frame. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please don't forget to hop along with us. The details are in the description below.